again, everybody. If you are visiting the county of Cambridgeshire where we're based, you may well think to visit the city of Cambridge itself with its fantastic colleges, King's College, Chapel. You may go to Ely Cathedral, you might go to the Imperial War Museum at Duxford. But what other curiosities are there to see in the county that are perhaps away from the beaten track and the crowds, and you can visit for free? This video is made in collaboration with a group of like-minded vanners. Don't forget to check the playlist, which will be in the description below and on the end screen, to see what the other channels in the group made of this topic and what's round in their local areas. Now I'm at Hilton Turf Maze, which is one of only 8 surviving turf mazes in England. It's roped off at the moment so it doesn't suffer damage in the wet weather, but in the summer months you can enter it and explore the maze itself. Now this maze was cut in the year 1660 by a chap called William Sparrow, and they reckon that he cut it based on a nearby maze in the village of Comberton, which now doesn't exist. Well, the village exists, but the maze doesn't. Now these mazes would have once been a common thing on a village green. It's not exactly known what they were used for, but it's suspected they were used in fertility rites and also to cast off the devil, because believe it or not, the devil can only travel in straight lines. The maze, of course, has been recut a few times over the years, and the little monument in the middle to the chap William Sparrow is, I believe, an 18th century edition. There's plenty of nearby green space for a picnic in the summer too. There's a little bit of on-street parking here, but you might struggle to park a big motorhome. You could stay at the nearby Crystal Lakes campsite at Fenstanton, from which it would be about a 20-minute bike ride to the turf maze. I'm now at the ruins of Great St Mary's Church, Woolley. The stonework suggests that there may have been a church here as early as the 12th century, but much of it was built around about the year 1300. The last service held here was on the 29th September 1949. It was formally closed and mostly demolished in 1961, but I believe you can still be buried here. There are some really nice details in the stonework. Although I will admit that ruined churches are a bit of a niche interest. This is an unusual little detail. Any ideas what this might be? It is a little bit overgrown and a little bit uncared for, but I like it. Unfortunately, there's really not much in the way of parking on the nearby roads. However, if you're in the Caravan and Motorhome Club, there is this CL within very easy cycling distance on pleasant country roads. Now this is the Moon Gate at Gamblingay. It was built in 1712 by Sir George Downing. And originally these two brick piers would have supported an opening that made a full circle called a lunette. Now this would originally have been the northern boundary of Gamblingay Park, and this gate would have stood at the end of an avenue of trees, and as you look down the avenue, the big lunette would have looked like a big moon at the end. Legend has it that Dick Turpin, the famous highwayman, once jumped his horse through the circle of the lunette whilst trying to evade capture. It is a bit ruinous now and not particularly well cared for. Now, there was some talk a while back of applying for some heritage lottery money to help restore and preserve this moon arch, but unfortunately doesn't seem like a great deal has happened. There is a nearby car park at Gamlingay Sink, but it does have very restrictive height and width barriers, so you're not going to get your motorhome in there. But it would be a relatively easy bike ride from the nearby Mill Farm campsite. Now, this is the village of Holywell, and I've come to see its Holy Well, which is positioned in the churchyard. So despite the name, this well is actually probably from heathen times, when apparently it had a reputation for curing sore eyes. And when Christianity come along, they couldn't get rid of this idea, so they adopted it as a holy well. It's also said that if you're an unmarried maiden and you throw some money into it, you'll see the reflection of the man you're going to marry. And you can see a few folks still seem to be sticking to that, although they don't seem to be investing a great deal in that. Now, the lanes around here are all quite narrow and there's nowhere really to park a big motorhome close to the site. However, if you're Caravan and Motorhome Club members, the nearby Priorsfield CL would be a good choice, and it's a very short and pleasant cycle ride from that site. Now, I'm in Summersham today and I've come to see the milepost obelisk. Now, this is part of a pair of milestone obelisks on the old toll road between Summersham and St Ives. This one is dated 1773, but the St Ives one is dated 1772. It's much nicer than the new road signs, I think. But it's also got an Ordnance Survey datum level point on it. And it handily points out the way to St Ives, and also the way to Huntingdon via Pidley. Now, it is on quite a busy road junction, and there's nowhere really nearby to park a motorhome. Again, if you are a Caravan and a Motorhome Club member, you could stay at the Lawn Orchard CL, which is just a short walk down the road really from the obelisk, although it is a main road and there is no footway. So there you go, these are the Cambridgeshire delights that the Tourist Information Centre won't tell you about. I hope you enjoyed my little selection there, and if you do come to Cambridgeshire, I think you'll find it a very rewarding experience and you'll enjoy your stay. Anyway, that's it for me for the moment. We'll see you again soon in a future video.